All right, Scooter. Umpiring behind the plate, Larry McCoy. At first base, Joe Brinkman. At second, Nick Brimmigan. And at third, Nestor Shylock. Roy White's in for the Yankees. Roy, a switch hitter, batting left-handed against Coleman, and the ball game underway. First pitch, the breaking ball for strike. Coleman making his second start of the year. He had no decision in the season opener against Baltimore. Big right-hander, basically a breaking ball pitcher. The ball's bunted foul down the third base side, and it's no balls and 2 strikes on White. A couple of years ago, Coleman came up with a forked ball, and he gave the Yankees fits with it for a while. Lifetime, Coleman has won 8 and lost 13 against the Yankees, and he's won 5 and lost 6 since becoming a Tiger in 1971. And the 0-2 pitch to White. Hit him. And he'll go to first base. Roy White hit with a no-ball, 2-strike pitch. I think he tried to brush him back, but he got it in a little too far.
He sure did, and that's going to make Ralph Houk very unhappy. And Coleman, too, ahead 0-2, and he's kicking the dirt out in that mound now.
So White leads off with the Yankees, starting the ball game off by getting hit on the right hip-by pitch, and that'll bring in Mike Hegan, the first baseman. Now, the Yankees have tried to run on freehand early. He's thrown them out so far. Let's see. Pitch to Hegan is fouled back. In the past, Freehand has had trouble with his right shoulder, but he cut down 2 Yankees trying to steal in the opener on Tuesday. Roy White, an excellent base runner. No balls in the strike on Mike Hegan. Nobody out. White with the lead from first base. The set by Coleman. And the throw there. White back easily. Hegan is 4 for 12 so far this year. He's batting .333, and he's picked up a couple of RBIs. Now the set. And the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball on the outside corner. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Well, so far Coleman's only thrown 1 ball, and that everything else has been a strike. And that 1 ball hit White. It was an 0-2 pitch. Trying to move White back off the plate, and he got him on the left hip. And Roy leads from first. The set. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Mike Hegan. Swung on, hit on the ground to first base. Cash has it, goes to second for 1. Back to first in time. Double play by the Tigers. A 3-6-3 double play. Cash to Brinkman, back to Cash, and they're 2 down. Here's Thurman Munson. Munson batting an even .400 on the year. He's 6 for 15. A home run, 3 runs batted in. That double play cleaned the bases. Nobody on now with 2 outs. On deck for the Yankees, Bobby Mercer. Munson taking a lot of time getting ready. Curveball moves him back off the plate. No balls, 1 ball and no strike. Tigers have Rodriguez at third. Brinkman's a shortstop. Sutherland at second. And the Cash at first. The 1-0 pitch, breaking ball pulled foul outside of third. Willie Horton's in left. Mickey Stanley in center. Jim Northrup in right. Bill Freehand catching. Joe Coleman pitching. A ball and a strike on Munson. 2 out, nobody on. We're just underway. Top of the first, no score yet. From Tiger Stadium. 1-1 pitch. Swung on, hit on the ground to first base. 1 hopper to Cash. He'll take it himself. He has to hurry. And he just beats Munson to the bag. Norm Cash taking it himself and forgetting that Munson really hustles down the line. And he just beat Munson to the bag by a whisker. Over the Yankees in the first, no runs, no hits. Was a hit batter, but he was wiped out with a double play, so nobody was left on base. We're going to the bottom half of the first inning. The Yankees nothing, and the Tigers coming up.
Martin Luther King, William Penn, A. Philip Randolph, Harriet Beecher Stowe. Distinguished names. Names we recognize as belonging to the community of men and women dedicated to peace and nonviolence. And behind each leader there were, and are, anonymous thousands working to bring about a better life. It's something for us to remember when we think about violence in the daily news. We know that violence is in all of us. So is God. And that makes nonviolence a realizable goal. The community of God. Make it your way. This message is brought to you by Religion in American Life, in cooperation with this station.
Mel Stottlemyre just finished his warm-up throws into Thurman Munson. We're about ready to get underway at the bottom of the first. Yankees did not score in the top of the first, and the Tigers will send in Ed Brinkman, Aurelio Rodriguez, and Jim Northrup against Stottlemyre. This is Mel's second start of the season. He beat Cleveland in the opener 6-1, and he just missed his 41st career shutout in the ninth inning. Well, Stottlemyre would certainly like to get that here this afternoon as he deals to the right-handed hitting Brinkman. A breaking ball that's inside. I think we said then that Stottlemyre's 40 shutouts were the most by an active American League pitcher. And we forgot, of course, about Juan Marichal, although Marichal got his 52 shutouts in the National League. But Juan now, of course, with the Boston Red Sox. So technically, Marichal has more shutouts. Too high, 2 balls and no strikes on Brinkman. Stottlemyre's 346th game as a Yankee. That ties him with Herb Pinnock for 7th place on the Yankees all-time list. Brinkman takes down low, 3 balls and no strikes. Of course, Whitey Ford pitched more games than any other Yankee pitcher, 498. He's number 1 on the list. There's the strike, 3 balls and a strike to Brinkman, leading off for the Tigers. Bottom half the first inning, no score. Yankees trying to win their 5th straight game of the year. Stottlemyre rocks back and deals a 3-1 pitch to Brinkman. Hit in the air to center field. Mercer going back, still going. He's there now, and he's got it. 1 down. Stottlemyre coming back from a 3-0 count and getting Brinkman to fly deep to Mercer in center field. That was score from New York. In fact, no score because it's 0-0. The Cardinals and the Mets in the first game of a doubleheader. No score after an inning of play.
Pretty good pitching duel there, just as it is here, huh, Bill?
Gibson and Seaver?
Yeah.
They might play that game in about an hour. Here's Aurelio Rodriguez, the third baseman. Right-handed batter. Takes a breaking ball for strike. On deck, Jim Northrup, the right fielder. Stottlemyre gets a new ball, turns his back to the mound, rubs it up. I'm reading about those baseballs today, Scooter. They're made in Haiti.
Yep.
And it's cowhide now instead of horsehide, right?
Right.
Breaking balls hit in the air to right field. Bloomberg moving back. He stops now under it. And he's got it. 2 down. Rodriguez skying to Ron Bloomberg in right field. I had a little article in the financial section of the Detroit paper. You know how many baseballs that the major leagues use during a season?
No idea.
Over 300,000 baseballs.
A lot of cowhide.
Here's Northrup. Takes outside a ball. Northrup, a left-handed batter. 2 out, nobody on. We're in the bottom of the first, no score. Nettles in close at third. Stottlemyre kicks and deals. Misses inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Nettles at third. Mason at short. Michael at second. Hegan at first. White, Mercer, and Ron Bloomberg in the outfield, reading from left to right. Thurman Munson doing the catching. Mel Stottlemyre has his sign, rocks back, and the 2-0 pitch to Northrup. Swung on it on a ground to shortstop. Dug out there by Jim Mason. Fine throw the first in, plenty of time, and Northrup is out. So Stottlemyre gets the Tigers out 1-2-3, and after 1, score, Yankees nothing, the Tigers nothing.
When is a loan not a loan? When it's cash from Protective Loan that you can spend for any good spring reason at all. See the friendly, courteous folks at Protective Loan now. With Protective's confidential one-day service, your spring fix-up money problems will disappear. Remember, Protective Loan is your friend with money to lend. And there's a convenient office in Uptown Albany at 215 Central Avenue near Robin, or 603 2nd Avenue in North Troy. Menands at 291 Broadway and 620 Columbia Turnpike, East Greenbush. Sports fans fans meet daily at Jack's Place right here at QBK for the most extensive sports coverage in the Capital District. Along with the QBK music, I'll bring you a sports report every hour. Features from Maury Trumbull of United Press, baseball scores, the feature race of the day from Aqueduct, and starting April 18th, Saratoga News with Tom Johnson. I'm Jack Hopke. Join us all each day from 3 to 7 right here at WQBK AM and FM, Rensselaer.
Okay, William, we're ready to go again.
And we're waiting on Bobby Mercer to come out for the Yankees. Here comes Bobby. Bobby a little slow getting out of the dugout. The Yankees will send up their left-handed hitters, their power hitters, Mercer, Bloomberg, and Nettles, to face Joe Coleman here in the top half of the second inning. There's no score yet. Mercer on the year batting at .385. He's 5 for 13 with a run batted in. He's been walked 5 times this year. So they're very careful with him. Now we're ready to go, and Coleman's first pitch. It's on the outside corner for strike. The outfield and the infield swung around toward right field for Mercer. Leading off for the Yankees, top half the second inning. Coleman's 0-1 pitch. Misses outside, 1-1. Still working on the outside part of the plate. 325 feet here down the right field line. It's a double deck stands. And the top deck juts out over the field, so actually it's shorter. 370 to right center, 440 dead center. Swung and fouled off on the third base side. Low number to Dick Hauser, the third base coach. He inspects the ball and gives it back to Coleman. Hauser coaching at third for the Yankees. Elston Howard coaching at first. A ball and 2 strikes on Mercer. Coleman with an excellent forkball. Ball goes down and away from a left-handed hitter. The 1-2 pitch to Mercer. There it is. Hit on the ground to second base. Sutherland's up with it. Throws to the pitcher covering in time. Norm Cash started to get that ball, but Sutherland, the second baseman, called him off. And Gary Sutherland, the second baseman, picked it up and threw to Coleman covering. So Mercer is out 4-1. 1 down. And Ron Bloomberg is the batter. Bloomberg, 4 for 10 this year. That's an even 400. Has a run batted in. 2 of those 4 hits against the left-hander, Tom Hilgendorf, the Cleveland Indians. Boomer takes outside for a ball. On deck, Greg Nettles. 1 out and nobody on. At the top of the second, no score. Curveball misses outside. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Coleman really working away from the Yankee left-handed hitters. There's a pitch on the outside corner. It's 2-1. Well, Reitz hit a home run for the Cardinals. Nobody on. As Bloomberg takes outside, it's 3-1. So the Cardinals lead the Mets 1-0 with the Mets batting in the... Cardinals might still be batting in the top of the second. Anyway, it's 1-0 Cardinals over the Mets. Down low, ball 4. Bloomberg walks. So Bloomberg to first base with 1 out here, the top of the second, and the batter will be Greg Nettles, the Yankee third baseman. Nettles batting .231 so far. He's 3 for 13. 2 home runs, 3 runs batted in. Left-handed batter. Bill Sudeikis moves into the on-deck circle. Bloomberg with a short lead at first. He's held there by Norm Cash. Nettles takes a fastball on the outside corner for strike. That Coleman isn't giving in to the Yankee left-handed hitters. He's keeping that ball on the outside part of the plate. Now, Nettles hit a home run in the opener against Cleveland. Out into left center. Down low, scooped up by Bill Freehan. It's 1-1. It's 365 feet to left center here at Tiger Stadium. 340 down the left field line. Center field, the deepest part of the park. It's 440 feet there. As Coleman sets. Throws to first base. He almost got Bloomberg. He was leaning towards second. And he dove back in safely. Ron Blomberg really leaning toward second base. Had to dive back in and had the tag by Norm Cash. Now Coleman wants another sign from his catcher, Bill Freehand. Blomberg now with a little shorter lead at first. He's checked by Coleman. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on, popped up. Out behind first base in short right field. In foul territory now. The second baseman, Sutherland, back out there, and he's got it. So Nettles just missing a fastball, fouls out to the second baseman, Gary Sutherland, for out number 2. Blomberg still at first, and that'll bring in the Yankees' designated hitter, Bill Sudeikis. Sudeikis a switch hitter, and so far this year he's batting at .286. He's 4 for 14 with 2 runs batted in. Now the set by Coleman, and the pitch to Sudeikis. Down low ball. Gene Michael moving into the on-deck circle. 2 men out. Ron Blomberg at first base. No score with the top half the second inning. The Yankees playing the Tigers. The Yankees in first place in the East have won 4 and lost none. 1-0. No throw the first. Blomberg is back. Coleman with a good move over the first base. Now the set by the tall right-hander. There goes Blomberg. The pitch is looped foul down the left field line. Hits on a tarp and bounces back into the foul territory. So the count now, 1-1 on Bill Sudeikis. Blomberg off and running with the pitch. He has to go back to first base. Raining just a bit harder here at Tiger Stadium. Forecast for rain, temperature in the 50s. Now the set. Blomberg leads. Coleman takes a long look over there and then throws to first base. Ron is back. Yankee designated hitters are 5 for 15. 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. 1-2 on Sudeikis. Threw a fastball by him. Yankees have won 4, lost none. They're in first place. The Brewers have won 2 and lost 1. They're a game and a half out. Baltimore split 4. Pitch to Sudeikis is swung on and missed. Struck him out. Got him on a forkball. That's all for the Yankees in the second. No runs, no hits. There was a walk and a man left on base. We're going to the bottom half of the second inning. Yankees nothing, Tigers nothing.
People never thought of me as much of a lover. They think of Casablanca instead of Casanova. They don't know the real me. I can fall in love, too. In fact, I'm still in love with my first love. We met at the bar. I couldn't wait to get my hands on her. I walked over to her. I picked her up, and then I knocked her down. She was the best glass of beer I ever had. It was draft beer, fresh, smooth, creamy. And ever since, I can't get draft beer out of my mind. So now I get real draft beer out of a can of Peel's Real Draft. If you want the beer you can fall in love with, try Peel's Real Draft. It's just as fresh and smooth and creamy as the kind I used to drink. Now that I've discovered Peel's Real Draft, I'm so happy. It's driving me sane. Real Draft, the kind of beer you first love. Peel Brothers, Willamette, Massachusetts.
Well, we're talking about Mel Stottlemyre starting his 346th game. Well, when you think of Whitey Ford, 498 games, Bill, that's something.
That's a lot of pitching.
Yep.
Whitey's number 1 on the Yankee list, right? Yep. Here's number 1 on the Tiger list, Al Kaline. Kaline starting his 23rd season in a Tiger uniform. Right-handed batter, leading off against Stottlemyre. Bottom of the second and no score. Al takes inside a ball. I think Ralph Houka said this fellow will not put a glove on this year. He's just going to swing the bat, nothing else. He'll be the designated hitter all year long for the Tigers. Breaking ball is too low to Kaline. 2 balls, no strikes. Mel looking for sign. He's got it now. Rocks back, and the 2-0 pitch to Kaline. Swung on, hit on the ground, in the hole, base hit left field. Past Nettles, past Mason. White then gets it, throws back into second base. So Kaline leads off the second inning for the Tigers by singling sharply in the hole between the third baseman Nettles and the shortstop Mason. He's on at first base, and that'll bring in Willie Horton, the left fielder for the Tigers. Horton, a right-handed batter. Batting at even 200 this spring. He's 4 for 20. He's hit 2 home runs already, though, and they were both bases empty home runs because he only has 2 RBIs. Strong, Willie Horton. They play him to pull on the left side of the infield. Mason way over in the hole at shortstop. Nettles deep behind the bag at third as Stottlemyre sets and deals to Horton. Slider on the outside corner for strike. Now Dick Trzaskowski, the Tiger first base coach, says something to Horton. And says something to Al Kaline as Kaline leads from first. The set by Stottlemyre and the pitch. Down the third, a sinker. It's 1-1. On deck, Norm Cash. No score when the bottom half of the second inning. Kaline at first base. He led off this inning by singling to left field. And the count, 1-1 on Willie Horton. Horton stands up even with the plate. And the pitch to him. Swung on, hit, line drive. The shortstop comes out of his glove. Mason gets the ball in left field, throws the second in time to force Kaline. That ball was right to Mason, the shortstop, a shot. I think he tried to get the ball out of the glove quickly to try to double Kaline at first base, and the ball came out of the glove.
That's exactly what happened, Bill. You could see him take his eye and take a look at Kaline, and that could have been very embarrassing. It turned out that Kaline had to turn around and go back to first, and then he couldn't get to second in time, so the Yankees got a big break there.
Oh, there's one out now. Horton on at first. Hegan playing behind him, and the batter's Norm Cash, the Tiger first baseman. Left-handed batter with good power. The pitch to Cash. Outside a ball. No score. We're in the bottom of the second. 1 out, 1 on for the Tigers. That's Horton at first base.
Yankees got a break there, though. Horton's on instead of Kaline. Kaline, I think, a little faster than Horton on the bases.
Now the set and the 1-0 pitch. It's on the outside corner. It's 1-1. Yankee outfield playing Cash to pull. Bloomberg deep in right field and near the line. Mercer over in right center. And Roy White playing in left center. So there's a lot of room down the left field line. Infield also swung around toward the right side. 1-1 pitch to Cash. Change up. And it's knobbed into the Tiger dugout. And Cash, a chip fell off Cash's bat and went down the first baseline. So
he's got one of those bats, Bill, with that hollow in the top. I thought that wasn't allowed.
Well, those are the Japanese bats. And I think last year Lou Brock started that. And evidently it's legal this year. They wouldn't let Chubb Feeney, the president of the National League, disallowed that for a while, and evidently now they can use them. Some of the Perils are using that thing. It just chipped out of the top. 1-2 on Cash with 1 out. Horton leading from first. And the pitch. Swung on, one hopper to Michael. Throw him out into right field. Around second base is Willie Horton. Dayton to third, and he'll make it there, and Cash holds it first. And we'll see here in a moment how they score that. That was a one hopper that just dipped under Michael's glove and went under him and out into right field, and it's a base hit for Norm Cash.
Boy, that's really a gift for Cash. Perfect double play ball.
Well, it pays to play at home. Tigers now runners at first and third, only 1 out. And here's Mickey Stanley, the center fielder. Mickey's moved the infield back, looking for 2. No score yet, bottom of the second. The second base hit off Stottlemyre. Both of them got in this inning. Kaline led off by singling to left field. He was forced at second. Here's the pitch now to Stanley. Call strike, a slider on the outside corner. Stottlemyre would certainly like either a strikeout or a pop-up here. Maybe a nice little soft ground ball to the shortstop. It started 2. Here's the set now. Runners are checked. And the 0-1 pitch. Bounce to third. Up with it is Nettles, the second for 1. Back to first. In time for a double play. Greg Nettles started a 5-4-3 double play. And the Yankees get out of the inning. For the Tigers, no runs on 2 hits. There were no Yankee errors. And there were 2 men left on base. At the end of 2, it's the Yankees nothing and the Tigers nothing.
A processing center in New York City where clothing and goods are collected, packaged, and stored should disaster strike.
The Nicaraguan earthquake, for instance, then you get an upsurge of clothing. Or the Peruvian earthquake, or Bangladesh, or any crisis like that.
The warehouse is operated by Catholic Relief Services.
The concept is that we get staff, we get food and water for the disaster team, and then we get supplies. We get it all out at once. We have shortwave radio equipment, transceivers to communicate among the team.
The center functions on a daily basis, sending food, clothing, and medicines where they're needed.
That's the fastest way to get it there. We'll ship it commercially to...
Catholic Relief Services responds quickly to the needs of people through disaster relief activities and helps the overseas poor the year round. Supports CRS through the American Catholic Overseas Aid Fund, the Empire State Building, New York 10001.
Now we're ready to go on a moment's notice.
This is the New York Yankee Baseball Network. Let's pause for station identification.
This is WQBK and WQBK-FM Rensselaer, where you'll find me, John Watson, in John's World, from 11 to 3 weekdays and 11 to 4 on Saturday.
Gene Michael leading off for the Yankees. Top of the third, he takes outside a ball. Go over the scoring again that inning. Because of that double play, was no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and only 1 man left on base for the Tigers in the second. I said 2. So if the keeping score, change that. 1 man left on. Michael pulls one down the first base line, scooped up by Norm Cash, and he takes it himself. 1 down. No score here in the third inning, and Jim Mason, the Yankee shortstop, steps in against Joe Coleman. Mason, the left-handed batter. Takes a fastball on the outside corner for strike. Well, Joe Torre just hit his first home run with a man on. Evidently, that's in the third inning. So it's at least 3-0 now. The Cardinals over the Mets in the third inning. Ball and strike on Mason. 1 out, nobody on here, no score. Outside, 2 balls and a strike. Well, the Cardinals really shook up their pitching staff.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
About the only one they kept was Bob Gibson. Hit on the ground in the hole. Backhanded by Brinkman, the shortstop. Long throw the first in time. Got him by a step. Excellent play by Eddie Brinkman, the Tiger shortstop. He was playing a Mason to pull just a bit, and Mason slapped the ball in the hole. Brinkman went over, backhanded it, and made a strong throw the first in time. So there are 2 outs. And here's Roy White, the Yankee left fielder. Roy was hit by a pitch his first time up. He's been an excellent leadoff man so far. He scored 6 runs. Takes down low ball.
Got a great on-base average, too, Bill.
Yeah, that's what you want from your leadoff man. Takes a little pressure off your batting leadoff. You know, you do a lot of things. Bunt the ball, look at 4 pitches. Too high, 2 balls, no strikes to 1. Rodriguez in close at third. As Coleman works fast, the right-hander kicks and deals. A fastball hit up the middle, knocked down by Coleman. He picks it up, throws on the first in time. Oh, Coleman hit White with one in the first inning, and White hit one back at him. Coleman knocked it down, threw him out. So for the Yankees in the third, 3 up and 3 down. We go into the bottom half of the third inning. It's the Yankees nothing, and the Tigers nothing.
Be prepared. Are you ready to get involved? prepared? Are you ready to take the lead? 'Cause if you ain't, who'll take care of the futures of our sons? Well, let me ask you now, who's gonna tell them about the pusher man? Who's gonna show them how to clean the land? Who's gonna show them why they shouldn't drop out? Who's gonna show them what it's all about? You know you can if you want to. Oh, you can if you want to right now. Let me lay it on you.
You know, you can help a lot of boys be prepared by being a leader in scouting. I mean it. Scouting today is a lot more than you think.
Be prepared. Are you ready to get involved? Be prepared. Are you ready to take the lead? 'Cause if you ain't, who'll help teach our sons? Be prepared. Well, in New York, in a pitching duel between Bob Gibson and Tom Seaver, the Cardinals lead at 3-0 after 2.5 innings of play. Home runs by Reach and a 2-run home run by Joe Torre in the top of the third. And the Cardinals lead 3-0 over the Mets, over Shea. Here's Bill Freehand leading off against Mel Stottlemyre, bottom of the third, in a game that's scoreless here in Tiger Stadium. Freehand takes down low ball. This fella's been hot. He's got at least one base hit in each of the Tigers' first 5 ball games. And he's batting .571. He's 8 for 14. Check swing, slow hopper to second base. Hegan cuts it off, throws the first in time to Stottlemyre. Mike Hegan got that slow hopper before it reached the infield. Actually, the dirt part of the infield. He cut in front of Michael and grabbed it, turned around, and threw to Stottlemyre in time to get Freehand. So there's one away. That was a check swing, slow hopper, and this infield is slow. Gave Hegan a lot of time to get that ball. Of course, it was a tough play for him. He had to turn completely around and throw behind him to Stottlemyre. Mel got the bag and the ball in time to get Freehand. Here's Gary Sutherland, the second baseman. Takes a breaking ball too high. Sutherland had a good opener here with the Tigers. Picked up 4 base hits. Line just went down the right field line. It's going to be a base hit. Might go all the way to the wall. Bloomberg's over, cuts it off. Sutherland around first, going to second, and he'll stand up there with a double. Gary Sutherland has really been tough on Yankee pitching. He was 4 for 4 against Klein and Fred Bean in the opener here. Picked up 3 singles against Steve Klein and a double against Fred Bean. So he was 4 for 4. He leads off here by doubling down the right field line, and he's 5 for 5 against Yankee pitching. Sutherland down at second with 1 down, and the batter Ed Brinkman, the shortstop. Brinkman's been up once against Stottlemyre. He flied to center field. Right-handed batter. No score. We're in the bottom half of the third inning. Stottlemyre's first pitch now to Brinkman. Down low ball. Yankee outfield straight away. They're in close for Brinkman, especially Bloomberg in right field. He's way in. Now Stottlemyre sets up again, checks Sutherland at second, and deals to the plate. Up high. 2 balls, no strikes. Games in the American League. Milwaukee's playing at Cleveland. Baltimore at Boston, Chicago at Minnesota. Texas playing at California tonight. The next pitch, slider outside, 3-0. Stottlemyre ran the count 3 balls, no strike to Brinkman in the first inning and came back and got him to fly to center field. See what he does here now. On deck, Aurelio Rodriguez, the third baseman. A pitch, right in there for called strike, 3-1. Mel looking for his second win of the year. Beat Cleveland in the opener at Shea by a score 6-1. Here's a 3-1 pitch to Brinkman now. Swung on, line to left field. White moving back. He's under it, and he's got it. Sutherland tags at second, but he'll hold there as White throws a strike into Nettles at third. Well, they're 2 down.
Brinkman hit the ball hard, but right to the left fielder, Roy White. And here's the Tiger third baseman, Aurelio Rodriguez. He's been up one slide to Bloomberg in right field. No score. Gary Sutherland at second base with 2 outs here in the third inning. Rodriguez hasn't gotten started this spring. He's 3 for 22. Stottlemyre sets and deals. Down low ball. Jim Northrup on deck. Still drizzling here at Tiger Stadium as Stottlemyre sets up. And the 1-0 pitch. Swung on line to center field. That's going to be a base hit. Digging around third base is Sutherland. Mercer's got the ball. The strong throw home will not be in time. The runner's going to second. The throw there is in time. And Rodriguez is out trying to go to second. But the Tigers score as Aurelio Rodriguez singles sharply to center field, scoring Sutherland. And Rodriguez is cut down at second. Munson, the catcher, to Michael, the second baseman, covering. So with the Tigers in the third, they have 1 run on 2 hits. There were no Yankee errors and nobody left on base. At the end of 3, the Tigers won and the Yankees nothing. Now the Yankees have introduced an all-new scorecard, which will be changed frequently during the season. The new enlarged format with full 4 colors features a page of photos of incoming American League opposing stars, plus up-to-date rosters of both the Yankees and the opposing team. And there are nice, large score blocks. And a wonderful feature on Where Are They Now? A nostalgic look at Yankee players of the recent championship eras. There will be improvements and changes in the official Yankee scorebook throughout the season, and it's on sale only at Shea Stadium, and it's only on sale when the Yankees are home. It costs just 50 cents. So that's the Yankees all-new scorecard. Talking about Where Are They Now before yesterday's or before Tuesday's ball game. Got a chance to see a former Yankee shortstop, Tommy Tresh. So he's right here in Detroit. That's a pretty good thing to have in a scorebook. Pick up yours, 50 cents at Shea Stadium when the Yankees are home. Well, we go now into the top of the fourth, and here's Scooter to tell you about it.
All right, Frank, and Bill.
All right.
Frank is coming in as soon as Bill leaves. Mike Hegan takes a strike on the first pitch by Coleman. Hegan bounced into a double play his first time up. Runs up to bunt, takes it low and outside. It's 1-1. The rain started just before the ball game got underway, and it hasn't stopped. It's not a very heavy rain, but a lot of umbrellas up down in the stands. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Through the first 3 innings, the Yankees got 2 men on base. Roy White getting hit with a pitch and a walk to Bloomberg, but no base hits. That's strike 3 called. Hagan is screaming at the plate, but it was a breaking pitch that caught the inside corner. Coleman chalks up his second strikeout, and it will bring up Thurman Munson, who, trying to check his swing, bounced out to first base his first time up. It's going to be a tough ball game today, Frank Messer.
Coleman looks like he has the real good stuff out there. Mel was falling behind the hitters. If he settles down, it's going to be an awfully close ball game.
Yep. All right, the pitch to Munson is outside, a sidearm curve, ball 1. On deck, Bobby Mercer.
Joe Coleman has to be one of the better pitchers in the American League. He really doesn't get credit.
That's true. The right-handed pitch is hit high in the air, but it's center field, and Mickey Stanley, with a lot of room to roam, backs up, is under it, and makes the catch. So there are 2 away. Now Bobby Mercer, who bounced out to second base his first time up. Coleman's dad, Joe Coleman Sr., pitched in the American League for a long time with Philadelphia A's, some with the Boston Red Sox. Pitch to Bobby on the outside corner. Strike one called. On deck, Ronnie Bloomberg.
I'm sure I've asked you this before, Phil. Is there any resemblance between Joe Jr. and Joe Sr.?
No, not in their pitching styles at all. Strike two. He hit the outside corner, now the inside corner. No, Joe Sr. was strictly an overhand fastball pitcher, a curve, and a changeup. But Joe, as we've told you, he can come overhand sidearm. He's got a slider. He's got a forkball. Got a slip pitch. Low with that overhand curve. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Makes it tough on the hitter. Coleman comes from so many different positions. He's got to be ready all the time. And he throws different pitches off those different positions. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Sidearm, a bounce in front of the plate. Coleman, who is left. Up with it, flips easily to Cash, and the Yankees are easily retired here. In the top of the 4th, 3 up, 3 down. And in the middle of the 4th inning, it's the Tigers 1, the Yankees nothing.
Say, excuse me.
Oh, yeah. This is Whitey Ford for Latham Ford. I was fortunate enough to win a lot of games with the Yankees, and there's one thing I learned. Each one of those victories was a team effort. So I feel right at home with the Latham Ford team. The salespeople, the service staff, the secretaries, everybody works together. Their goal, to give each customer a quality new or used car and the guaranteed service that goes with it. And you know what? They win every game.
When people call WQBK Radio, they say such nice things. It makes us blush. Thanks. QBK keeps you company. AM and FM.
Well, Phil Rizzuto, I see that Mr. Ray Kroc has said that he will offer a public apology to his ball players and to the Houston Astros for his remarks on the PA system out in San Diego.
Oh, I didn't read it. Is that in the afternoon paper, Frank?
In the afternoon paper, he said from his home that he told the press he would issue a public apology, as had been requested by Commissioner Kuhn and the league president, Chubb Feeney, and Marvin Miller.
Well, I guess he's so used to those McDonald hamburgers coming out perfect every time. He wants the ball players to do the same thing. All right, here's Stottlemyre's pitch to Northrop. Swing and a miss, strike one. That was really something, grabbing that PA system mic and right over it. First he wanted the streaker arrested, locked up, throw the key away. Then he got on the ball players. Inside, and it's 1-1. But that's what happens when you're very successful in so many things. And then you see something that doesn't go quite right. Tigers 1, Yankees nothing. Bottom of the 4th. Little bit high, says McCoy, the plate umpire, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Northrop bounced to short his first time up. He fouls it back off the screen. Evens the count at 2-2. At the end of 3 now, it's the Cardinals 3 and the Mets nothing. 2 homers off Tom Seaver.
Joe Torre with a man on, and Ken Reitz with the bases empty, I think.
Well, Seaver lately has been bothered by the long ball. The 2-2 pitch hit deep to right center field. Mercer, though, moves to his left. Now comes in a couple of steps and makes the catch. The deepest part of this ballpark is in center field, left center and right center. Well, not quite left center and right center. But it's 440 in dead center and 415, or about 100 feet to the right of that, and 400, 100 feet to the left.
Takes a good pair of legs to play center field in this ballpark.
Well, just like Yankee Stadium. Al Kaline, the designated hitter, hit a hard single between third and short to left field his first time up. And bounces this one to third. Nettles up with it. Fires to first, and Kaline is retired. That ball almost went under Nettles' glove.
Infield very soft. The ball is not coming up. That ground ball through Gene Michael that went for a base hit before just didn't come up. Skidded right under his glove.
You're right, Frank. On a very slow infield. It was that way at Shea when the Yankees played there. And here, too, you got to really stay down, keep that glove down on the ground.
Well, look at that Mason down there. He's playing third base. You got 2 third basemen.
Yep, Willie Horton up. He could shake hands with Nettles, and back on the edge of the outfield grass. The knuckle curve goes through Munson back to the screen, and it's ball 1. Willie Horton lined to the shortstop his first time up, and Mason took his eye off the ball, went off his glove in a shallow left center field, but Kaline, who was hustling back to the bag, was forced at second. Willie stands well up on home plate. Right-hand batter holds the bat straight up and down. The pitch is over, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 out, nobody on. Bottom of the 4th, Tigers out in front, 1-0.
A lot of youngsters out there in the left field stands, Phil. They must be safety patrol kids. I see they got those bright orange belts on.
Uh-huh. And you can hear them. They're Tiger fans. The 1-1 pitch hit deep to right center field. That's going to be in there for extra bases. Bloomberg chasing it down. It's rolling the wall. He's up with it. Horton is around second. He's going to try for third. Here's Michael's throw. They got him. Oh, Horton hesitated at second base and looked at the coach instead of looking at the ball. And that fraction of a second, he waited, rounding the bag, cost him. A beautiful relay from Bloomberg, number 9, to Michael, number 4, to Nettles, number 5. It's a double, but he's thrown out trying to stretch it into a triple. No runs. A base hit. No errors, and nobody left at the end of 4. It's the Tigers 1 and the Yankees nothing.
Hey, we remember the 50s better than anybody.
Okay, what do you remember?
Well, I remember the lyrics to all the rock and roll songs.
The sock hops and the proms, all those kind of good.
What else?
I remember every inch of my first
I do
car.
too. He remembered wrestling on TV. Johnny Go, Gorgeous Boy.
Do you remember polio?
Polio?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember my mom and dad wouldn't let me go swimming at the public pool.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
just
couldn't even
polio,
go to the
wasn't it?
movies. March of Dimes poster.
That's right. So the crippled kids and iron lungs.
Yep.
Ooh, that was a big scare.
Right, but it's like everything else from the 50s. It'll never come back.
But it is.
Polio's coming back?
I thought the vaccines knocked it out for good.
Well, that's what everybody thinks, but last year there was a big increase in the number of polio cases reported.
How come?
Well, because people forget to get their boosters and they don't have their children immunized at all. So diseases like polio, diphtheria, and tetanus can strike again, especially kids.
Well, me and Cynthia, we got kids, a boy and a girl.
25.
Yeah. Have you taken them to a physician, a clinic, or a local health department to be immunized?
No, he...
Forgot.
That's odd.
What do you mean?
If you don't remember immunization means protection, you don't remember the 50s at all.
This message brought to you by the American Medical
All right,
Association.
Ronnie Bloomberg leads it off for the Yankees in the top of the 5th. He bloops one. Aurelio Rodriguez near the foul line, just in fair territory, makes the catch at third. He jammed Bloomberg right on the hands with that one. So 1 pitch, 1 out. Yankees still looking for their first base hit of the ball game. Greg Nettles flied to the second baseman down the right field line, his first time up. The lights have been on here since the start of the ball game. The drizzle has let up a little bit. Pitch to Nettles, right down the middle, strike 1 call. Rodriguez way over towards shortstop. Brinkman over towards second base on the left side of the infield. Joe Coleman, the right-hander. Side armor. Bouncing ball at second. Sutherland gets the nice hop. Flips to Norm Cash, and they're 2 away. And Coleman's really making this game look easy to this point.
He must make sure they catch that commercial flight they have this afternoon to go to Boston. Tom Seaver's still giving up the Gopher balls, Phil. Lou Brock has hit one with 2 men on. And now, let's see, it's the Cardinals 6 and the Mets nothing at the end of 3.5.
Wow. That's a tough thing. You know, pitcher gets that on his mind, and Tom Seaver just about the best pitcher in baseball. But that home run ball can really get you in trouble. Wind must be blowing out at Shea today. All right, Bill Sedeka struck out his first time up. Bluffs a bunt, takes a strike.
Got a score out of Cleveland. The Indians 5 and Milwaukee 2 at the end of 2 innings.
Well, the Indians looking for their first win of the year. White Sox looking for their first win of the year. And I think the Pirates are, too. There's a pitch high and tight. 1-1.
And Boston just opened to play. They haven't played in 4 days. They played Friday and Saturday, I guess, and haven't played since.
Weather, especially up in that New England area. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sudeikis, the switch hitter, batting left-handed against Coleman. 2 out, nobody on. 1-0. The Tigers out in front. They scored in the 3rd inning on the double by Sutherland, who is now 5 for 5 against Yankee pitching, and a 2-out single by Rodriguez. A foul, that'll be out of play. Rodriguez chasing it, but it's back into the seats. Yankees are not having good cuts at Joe Coleman. Not that he's overpowering fast, but as we mentioned, he has so many deliveries and so many different pitches. On deck, Gene Michael. The pitch is low, and it's 2-2. Yankees fly to Cleveland right after this ball game. All right, the 2-2 delivery. Side armor. Swing and a miss, and he has Sudeikis really fooled on that one. Third strikeout for Coleman. He sets the Yankees down in order. And in the middle of the fifth inning, it's the Tigers 1, the Yankees nothing.
Oh, yes, I recall my first love quite well. Just the thought of her used to make my mouth run dry. Today I'd settle for that. I remember when I first reached out and touched her. Boy, was she cold. But then, who likes hot draft beer? That's right. My first love was draft beer. It was so fresh and smooth and creamy. I've been in love with it ever since. Only now I get it out of a can. A can of Peel's Real Draft. If you want a beer you can fall in love with, try Peel's Real Draft. It's just as fresh and smooth and creamy as the old days kind. When you have a can of Peel's Real Draft around, you don't need a woman. And it certainly doesn't hurt to have one. Yeah. Real Draft. Peel Brothers, Willimantic, Massachusetts.
So Rizzuto mentioned that the Yankees will be flying to Cleveland right after the game. 4 games over the weekend against the Indians. Then it's back to Yankee Stadium for 3 afternoon games next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday against the Boston Red Sox. That's really going to be a big series. The Red Sox, team that must be beaten for anybody to contend, I think, in the American League East.
No, you're absolutely right, Frank. All right, Norm Cash, who singled under Michael's glove in the second inning, leads it off. Cash, the veteran left-hand batter. Here's Mel's first pitch, and it's taken a little bit low, ball 1. Tigers have 5 hits and 1 run. The Yankees no hits and no runs. The next pitch is pulled foul. Almost got Dick Trujewski in the coaching box at first base. Kicks off the wall, and Bloomberg will chase it down in foul territory. 1-1. On deck is Mickey Stanley, and he'll be followed by Phil Freehan. Sun just popped out. I don't think it'll be out very long, but it has popped out. Very weak, Sun. There's a fair ball down the right field line. Cash is going to first base. He's going to try for 2. Bloomberg's throw will not be in time, and Cash is in with a double. Just inside the foul line between Hegan and the line. And that's the third double for the Tigers. Off Mel Stottlemyre. Cash opens the bottom of the 5th, and Mickey Stanley, the batter. Stanley bounced into a double play his first time up. Let's see if Ralph Houk might be changing his tactics and go for a bunt here, or have Stanley try to hit to right field and get that run to the 3rd. Ralph very seldom bunted when he was managing the Yankees. Stretch by Stottlemyre. And the pitch, he's trying to go to right field, takes the pitch on the corner, strike 1.
Yes, Stanley does want to go to right field. I have an idea that he may have to bunt a little bit more here because there's really no speed at all in this ball.
None whatsoever. All right, Stanley, a right-hand batter. Stottlemyre gets the sign from Munson. Now checks Cash at second. And the pitch, Stanley again trying to go to right field. It's low and inside, 1-1. Stottlemyre and Munson realize that.
Houk's a little bit upset about a story that was in the paper yesterday. Said after the ball game, he settled back in his chair in the office in the clubhouse, asked the clubhouse man to bring him a beer, and the clubhouse man promptly brought him 10. And Ralph said he got some mail today over that. And said Jim Campbell got a couple of phone calls. Say, what kind of a manager have you got? He's going to drink 10 beers after the ball game. Of course, he didn't drink 10 beers. The clubman actually brought in a six-pack in case the writers wanted to have a beer. But Ralph's a little bit upset about it.
He should be. The reporters get you in trouble every time. All right, Stottlemyre to the belt. Just a little bit low. And it's 2 balls and a strike. So this is a real battle here, a real duel. Stanley trying to go the opposite way to advance that runner, and Stottlemyre trying to keep him from doing that. Stanley had just stepped out to check Joe Schultz, coaching at third. Cash leads away. And he hits it to right field. And he'll have to play it on one bounce. Cash will not score. But Stanley did his job. Did it even better. Got a base hit instead of a ground ball. So the Tigers now with runners at first and third. Nobody out, in the batter, Bill Freehan. Yankees in a tough spot here. Sure, Mason and Michael will be playing back for a double play. Hegan will have to hold a runner at first. Nettles will be even with the bag, so he can go either way.
Whitey Ford is up on the dugout steps, waving down to the bullpen. Somebody's going to start warming up.
Got to be McDowell. He put his hand way high over his head and way wide outside.
Well, I can understand high over the head, but why way wide outside?
He's a pretty big man, big shoulders. Not that he's fat. Oh, the fat was for Ken Rice. It was a double motion, Frank. I shouldn't say fat, I should say chubby. All right, runners at first and third, nobody out. Pitch to Freehan, grounded to third. They're going to hold. Can't throw, goes to second. Michael comes to the plate. Beautiful heads-up play. Holy cow, that was perfectly executed. Cash committed a cardinal sin by not breaking right away to break up the double play. He waited till Nettles threw the ball to Michael. Michael then saw Cash break late, threw a perfect strike to Munson. Cash tried to knock Munson down. He did, but Thurman held on to the ball, and there are 2 out. And a runner at first base. Beautiful double play, heads up. That play goes 5-4-2. So that's that base running, and Bill Burton has been working on that with the Yankees all spring. Here's Gary Sutherland. He doubled and scored, the only run in the third inning. Takes the slider low, ball 1.
I'll tell you, Bill, I'm trying to think the last time I saw that double play. It's been a long, long time.
Absolutely. The only way you can get it is if Nettles does what he did and the runner on third does what he did. Nettles bluffed him back to the bag, then went to second. But that runner's got to break right away. Otherwise, you take yourself right out of a big inning. Even if they get him at the plate, there's still 2 on and only 1 out. There's a ball hit in the air to center. They're finally going to get Sutherland out. Bobby Mercer makes the catch. So the Yankees get a break for the Tigers. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and a man left. And at the end of 5, it's the Tigers 1, the Yankees nothing.
You know, many of us are still quite concerned about the energy crisis. First, the problem of not enough gas, and now gas and oil costing us so much more and more. Well, many people have taken steps to greatly ease the big crunch on their wallets and to conserve fuel. They have purchased the amazing front-wheel drive Subaru. Luigi Motor Sales Incorporated of Schenectady is the oldest and only exclusive Subaru dealer in the area. Luigi himself supervises and services the Subaru. Nowhere else will you find such personalized service. Even the salesmen aren't really salesmen. They're people like you and I. And after you've talked with John and Mike, you'll soon find out that they're also your friends. So why not do yourself a favor and see why so many people have switched to the Subaru and have done business with Luigi Motor Sales Incorporated, 1563 State Street in Schenectady. The Subaru from Luigi, one of the front runners of the gas and economic pinch.
This is the New York Yankee Baseball Network. We pause for station identification.
WQBK AM and FM Rensselaer, where you can hear me, Jack Hopke, from 3 to 7 each day. What? It is 3 to 7? Ooh, I gotta go to work. Bye.
All right, Gene Michael will lead it off for the Yankees here in the top of the 6th. As Joe Coleman has held them hitless, and Gene takes a curve low and inside, ball one. Michael bounced out to first base unassisted his first time up. Tigers 1, Yankees nothing. Gene, the switch hitter, batting left-handed against Coleman. And the pitch is bounced to first again. Fair ball, knocked down by Cash, picks it up and steps on the bag, just beats Michael, almost stepped on Coleman's foot, but they get Michael out and there's one away. That brings up Gene Mason, rather Jim Mason. Mason was robbed of a base hit on a fine play by Eddie Brinkman.
Looks like they're finally going to play baseball in Boston, Phil. It's 0-0 at the end of one, with Jim Palmer pitching for Baltimore and Louis Tion for the Red Sox.
All right, Mason takes a pitch low, ball one. On deck, Roy White. Low, ball two, 2-0. Mason had stepped back to look down at Dick Howse. The Yankees want to get a base runner on that.
So the Yankees only had one ball to the outfield so far. Munson's fly ball to center.
Low, ball three, 3-0.
And only one other ball in the air. It's Nettles' foul pop-up.
There's the strike, 3-1. Coleman has been rough on the left-hand hitters. Well, he's been rough on everybody, but the 3-1 pitch is hit to left field. Willie Horton drifts back and makes the catch. That ball was hit well, but to the opposite field. And there are two away. That brings up Roy White. White was hit with a pitch his first time up. Coleman was ahead of him 0-2, and then tried to waste one and hit Roy right in the middle of the back. Next time up, Roy hit a hot shot right back to the mound. That pitch is low, ball one.
See, the Mets are getting in the home run act now. Wayne Garrett has hit his first of the year, came with a man on to make that ball game 6-2, St. Louis in the fifth inning.
Okay. The 1-0 pitch on the inside corner, 1-1. 2 out, nobody on. Coleman's pitch fouled off Roy's foot, and that hurt. Oh, he's on the ground, turning over twice. That hit him solidly and was going forward when it hit him and kicked all the way back to the screen. Here comes Gene Monahan, the Yankee trainer, and that hurts. Fortunately, it got part of the spiked shoe and not the ankle bone solidly, or I don't think Roy would be able to continue.
I thought for a minute it might have got his instep, but it didn't. It was on the side of the foot. Roy's going to walk it off. You know, Roy wants to stay in there. He has the longest consecutive game playing streak of any player in the American League.
All right, Roy has a count of 1 ball, 2 strikes on him. 2 out, nobody on. Tigers in front, 1-0, top of the 6th. Joe Coleman. Hands over the head. High foul. That'll be out of play. And up on the roof here at Tiger Stadium.
This is Roy's 351st consecutive ball game for the Yankees.
He's very durable. Usually the fellas that get hurt the most are the big, husky, strong fellas with a lot of muscle. More of a chance to pull one. Again, the 1-2. Look out, he hit him in the same... No, a little lower this time. Holding his backside this time. He got a little more meat there, and it doesn't hurt as much, Frank, but that's twice he's been hit with a pitch. And both times he was behind on the count. First time 0-2, this time 1-2.
Roy has an amazing on-base percentage. He came into this game, he'd been on base better than half the times he'd come to bat, and now he's been on base twice the hard way, hit by the pitch today.
Well, Roy was hit with the pitch twice and then fouled one off his foot, so he's going to be aching all over. He'll have to sit in that whirlpool tomorrow over in Cleveland. All right, Mike Hegan has hit into a double play and struck out. Left-hand batter. Swings and misses, strike one. On deck, Thurman Munson. Tigers lead 1-0. Cash holds the bag against Roy White. And they almost picked him off. Man, they had Roy leaning towards second. He had taken one step. And only his quick reflexes enabled him to dive back head first. So it looked like Bill Burton wanted Roy to try and steal the bag. See what happens here. Stretch by Coleman. Another throw to first. This time Roy is back easily. 0-1 the count. Stretch by Coleman. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Went after a low breaking pitch that time, 0-2. Plus, the right field seats here are very inviting for left-hand batters, and a lot of times you take your eye off the ball thinking it's so easy to hit one out there. With a pitcher like Coleman, it's easy to do. 0-2 the count. There goes Roy White, the pitch out. They figured it. The throw is low and not in time, and White steals the bag and started for third and then thought better of it. He would have made it easily as Stanley and Sutherland had a little Alphonse Gastonak who's going to pick it up. But Roy steals the bag even though they had called for a pitch out and would have had Roy by about 10 feet, but Freehan's throw bounced about 5 feet in front of Brinkman.
That's the first poor throw Freehan has made. He worked very hard on his throwing this spring. And his arm was a bit suspect, I am told, but he made a couple of perfect throws in the opening game here of the series Tuesday.
And he did, so the Yankees get a break. Well, let's see, Roy White picks up his first stolen base of the year in his second attempt. And he strikes him out, so the Yankees had a chance there, but for the second time, Coleman strikes out Hegan for his fourth strikeout of the game. No runs, no hits, no errors, a man left. And in the middle of the sixth inning, the Tigers won, the Yankees nothing.
Curious or confused, get information or a pamphlet at most pharmacies or a health clinic. If you need help, see a doctor. A public service message by this station and the American Social Health Association.
Well, the Yankee Stadium ticket office will be open for another 3 hours this afternoon. It's open every day until 6, and on Saturdays and Sundays until 5 o'clock. So plenty of time to get your tickets for the Boston Red Sox series. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday afternoons. All afternoon games starting at 2 o'clock next week. The Yankees and the Red Sox. Quite a series, Phil.
All right, Frank, the top of the order. Brinkman, Rodriguez, and Northrup against Stottlemyre. And Brinkman bounces one foul outside of third. Eddie has hit the ball hard off Stottlemyre. Flied hard to Mercer in center field in the first inning. Line to Willie Horton in the third. So through 6 innings, Joe Coleman has not allowed a hit to the Yankees. He's hit Roy White twice and given a walk. All right, Mel, hands over the head. Side-on pitch inside, 1-1. Mel gets the sign from Munson. Pitch is low, ball 2-1. So do the Tigers have 7 hits, but only 1 run. Some bad base running has taken them out of a couple innings. The 2-1 delivery is bounced to third. Nettles has it on the second hop. Fires to first, and Brinkman is retired. So Brinkman hit the ball hard again, but right at Nettles. One away, and here's Rodriguez, who has driven in the only run of the game. Slide to right in the first and single to center in the third. Then on the throw to the plate, where Sutherland scored, Munson threw him out as he tried to go to second. One out, nobody on. Tigers in front, 1-0. Stottlemyre's pitch bounced to third again. Nettles up with it. Fires to Hegan, and there are 2 out. He hit that ball right off the end of his bat. Wasn't hit hard. And now Jim Northrup, who was bounced to short and flied to center. Told you the way this ball game is going, Tigers will make their plane easily. Yankees have a charter and don't have to hurry, but it's been an up-and-down game. There's a bouncer hit slowly to first. Hegan will have to flip to Stottlemyre. He does, and they got him. Easy inning for Mel. 3 up and 3 down, and at the end of 6 full innings, it's the Tigers 1, the Yankees nothing, and Frank Messer will carry you along for the last 3.
If you own a business that uses trucks, you've paid to have those signs painted on them. If the signs are dirty, no one can read them. Come to Albany's Supersonic Car Wash at 1025 Central Avenue in Albany. They can accommodate not only all kinds of cars, but also panel body trucks and VW buses. They're conveniently located, too, at 1025 Central Avenue in Albany, just 2 blocks west of Westgate Shopping Center. Albany Supersonic is open daily from 8:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Sundays from 8:30 to 5. Albany's Supersonic Car Wash at 1025 Central Avenue in Albany. On QBK Radio, we pick up every record just for you. Thanks for picking us. WQBK. QBK keeps you company, AM and FM.
Ball game to the 7th inning. Thurman Munson will try to get something started for the Yankees, who have been unable to touch Joe Coleman so far. Against Munson, the right-hand hitter, the infield shades slightly around toward third. Thurman is grounded out to first base and fly to center. Swings at the first pitch, ground ball to third. Flag down there by Rodriguez. Fires across in time, and on one pitch, Munson grounds out to the third baseman, Aurelio Rodriguez. It'll bring up Bobby Mercer. Bobby is 0 for 2 and hadn't had the ball off the infield. Ronnie Bloomberg comes out on deck. Mercer is grounded out to second and to the pitcher. First pitch is in low, ball 1. Sam McDowell throwing now in the Yankee bullpen. Coleman has his sign. Right-hander deals up high. What is it, Bill White, that Coleman has been throwing this afternoon and keep that ball on the ground? Fork ball, I guess.
He picked up a fork ball a couple of years ago, and he's given the Yankees fits with it over the last couple of years, especially Munson.
He comes up high to Bobby, and the count goes to 3 balls and no strikes. Coleman has walked only 1 man. He has hit 2 batters. Well, he's hit 1 batter twice. Got Roy White in the first inning, again in the 6th. And gave a walk to Bloomberg, Ronnie's first time up. He's behind 3-0 to Mercer. Bobby has glanced down to Dick Hauser, and he takes ball 4 high and outside. Mercer is on. So the Yankees have their 4th base runner. In the first inning, after White was hit by a pitch, Hegan grounded into a double play. Bloomberg was stranded in the second after walking. And Roy White was stranded at second base in the 6th inning after being hit and stealing second. Mercer has been running this year. We'll keep an eye on him for you. Cash is going to hold him on. Bobby takes a long lead over at first base. Coleman's pitch to Bloomberg, cut on and bounced foul. Flagged down by Coach Ellie Howard at first base. Bloomberg, after walking in the 2nd, popped up in the 5th. The Yankees have had only 2 balls off the infield. Munson's fly ball to center and Mason's fly ball to left field. Greg Nettles on deck. Tigers are leading by a score of 1-0 here in the top of the 7th inning. Mercer at first, 1 out. Coleman comes down to the belt, spins, throws to first, safe. They play Bloomberg to pull on the infield. The outfield straight away. The pitch is hit in the air to left field. Horton is right there, hit it right to him. Waiting, comes in a step and makes the catch. Mercer tagged up and stays at first base. 2 down. And now Greg Nettles. Nettles has popped up in foul ground to the second baseman Sutherland. Sutherland went a long way down the right field line for it. Then Greg bounced out to the second baseman Sutherland. Aurelio Rodriguez comes into the grass very wide at third base. Brinkman well over towards second. Sutherland in the hole. Cash holding Mercer on. The outfield bunches towards center, giving Nettles both foul lines. Throw to first, safe. So Rizzuto told you the sun came out for just about 1 minute. Now it's back under the clouds. But the rain has stopped. Quick throw to first, safe again. Mercer back in standing. Bill Sudeikis in the on-deck circle. Coleman comes to the belt, holds the set, throws to first again. Mercer is back. Umpire Joe Brinkman, no relationship to Eddie, the shortstop, watching the players at first. And the pitch taken outside, off-speed pitch that time. Mercer walks off a 3, now 4-step lead at first base. Coleman spins and throws over there, and Bobby is back.
Coleman's got that little balk move to first base. He breaks his left knee and looks like he's coming home. Then he twirls, spins quickly, and throws to first.
There goes Mercer. The pitch is cut on, bounces slowly back to the mound. Coleman has it, throws to first base. Nettles is out and throws aside. Nettles did not want to swing at that one. It was a half swing. But he made contact and bounces out to the pitcher. For the Yankees, no runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left. At the end of the top of the 7th inning, it's Detroit 1 and New York nothing. This is Phil.
The sun can be brutal here, so close to the Sahara. Smoldering 103 degrees on the parched village of Tera in Niger, Africa. Behind one mud hut, a villager scrapes greens from the earth. And nearby, another pounds millet grains into powder. Down the road, a child cries. Good health doesn't come easy here. That's what brought Nancy Reardon to Tera. She's a Peace Corps volunteer, sharing her knowledge of health and nutrition with the people here. They need her knowledge. 4 out of 8 children never make it past their 5th birthday. Young people like Nancy, serving far away from home in the Peace Corps, and her fellow volunteers in Vista, serving across this country, are all a part of Action. To find out how you can become a volunteer, write Action, Washington, D.C., 20525.
Well, the Yankees will be back home Tuesday afternoon to play the Boston Red Sox. They'll play the Red Sox 3 afternoon games, all starting at 2 o'clock. Tuesday afternoon, April 16th, Wednesday the 17th, and Thursday the 18th. Chance to see Carl Yastrzemski and the rest of the Red Sox. Here's Frank.
Okay, Bill, Al Kaline, 1 for 2, leads off the 7th inning. Kaline singled to left field in the 2nd, then was forced at second base after Mason dropped Willie Horton's line drive. He picked it up and forced Kaline. Kaline grounded out to third base in the fourth. The pitch is low and away, ball one. Looks like Al Kaline, another one of those players with a designated hitter rule, may just go on and on, Bill, as long as he wants to.
Well, Ralph Houck says he doesn't need a glove this year. He's not going to put him in the outfield.
He takes this one low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
I guess with that kid Ron Cash hitting the way he's hitting, he won't use him at first base either.
Ron Cash trying to take the job away from Norm Cash. Here's the 2-0 delivery. Up high, ball 3 to Kaline. Ron and Norm are not related. Now, the Tigers wear their names on the uniforms. Ron Cash has R. Cash on the back of his, but Norm Cash has just Cash. He wouldn't let him put the N on. Said, if people don't know me now, they never will. There's a strike to Kaline. It's 3-1.
He's right. He's been around here about 15 years.
At least that. There's the windup, 3-1 pitch. Line drive to center. That's going to be a base hit. Bobby Mercer plays it on 2 hops. And Kaline is on with his second base hit of this ball game. Stottlemyre got him in on the fist. That was a handle hit right out over second base. It brings up Willie Horton. Certainly one of the strongest men in baseball.
Frank, did you give the Mets score?
No, it's the 5th inning complete now?
Right. It's after 5. The Cardinals are batting the top of the 6th, and the Cardinals lead the Mets by a score of 6-2.
Been 4 home runs in that ball game, I know. Lou Brock, Joe Torre, Ken Reach for the Cardinals, and Wayne Garrett for the Mets. Horton has gone 1 for 2, had a double his last time up, and was thrown out trying to stretch it into a triple as Blumberg fired perfectly to Michael, and Michael's relay to Nettles was right on the money. Throw to first. Kaline is back. First time up, Horton batted with Kaline at first, hit the line drive. Mason had it in his glove, tried to throw the ball, I think, before he caught it. Dropped it, but still recovered it in time to get the force play at second. Here's the pitch. Down low, ball 1.
Here's the score in the American League. Baltimore and Boston, no score after an inning and a half. That ball game being played in Boston. And Chicago, the White Sox won. The Minnesota Twins nothing after 1 and a half. The Twins batting in the bottom of the 2nd. The White Sox are having a lot of trouble this year early.
Yes, they are. Now the 1-0 pitch. A strike call, 1-1 to Horton. Looked like a slider from Stottlemyre. Mr. Sunshine may not be beaming quite as much as usual. Chuck Tanner. There's a man who seems to have a perpetual smile on his face.
Yep.
Never seems to worry about a thing.
Does some unorthodox managing, and he's gotten away with it for 2 years, though.
1 ball, 1 strike to Horton. Kaline at first. Nobody out. Here's the pitch. Changeup is hit in the air to left field. Moving over for it is Mercer, well over in left. Mercer is under it and makes the catch. And Kaline makes him throw and now dashes back to first base. Bobby Mercer went way over into left field. Of course, they play Horton to pull way around anyway. 1 out. And the batter will be Norm Cash, 2 for 2. Cash had a base hit under Michael's glove at second base his first time up, then doubled to right field as he pulled one just inside the line. And the pitch to him. On the outside corner, strike 1. Sam McDowell continues to throw in the Yankee bullpen, getting his work in, and a left-hander, Luke Walker, is pitching down in the Detroit Tiger bullpen. Nettles very wide of the line on Cash and in close. The infield plays him to pull. The pitch is hit off the end of the bat into the Tiger dugout. No ball, 2 strike count on Cash. Stottlemyre walks off the reverse slope of the mound. Tigers are leading 1-0. Yankees have not had a base hit off Joe Coleman through their first 7 times at bat. Stottlemyre has the sign from Munson. Comes set at the belt. The right-hander turns it loose. Cash hits a drive toward right center. Mercer is after it. And Bobby's got it at the edge of the warning track in front of the 370 marker. Throws back in, and again, Kaline ducks back to first base. That ball got out there in a hurry. Mercer had to get a good jump on it, and he did. 2 down. And now Mickey Stanley, the Tigers center fielder. Stanley has grounded into a double play and single to right field.
The Red Sox picked up 2 runs in the bottom half of the second inning, and they lead Baltimore 2-0 after 2.
That's Jim Palmer for Baltimore and Louis Piot for Boston this afternoon. Red Sox been off 4 days. They played Friday and Saturday, and they haven't played since because of bad weather in New England. Stottlemyre ready to work to Stanley. And the first pitch cut on and grounded foul. Got it in on his hands, and he pulled it foul over toward the third base dugout. The Tigers go into Boston following this game, and the Yankees go to Cleveland. We'll be playing tomorrow night over in Cleveland. Chance for Rizzuto to check out his ski wear again. Long handle. 0-1 pitch. It's deep to left field. White is back to the seats. Can he get it? He leaps. He cannot. A home run. A home run for Mickey Stanley, scoring Kaline ahead of him, and the Tigers lead 3-0.
Mel got that ball up a little. He didn't want that breaking ball that high. Stanley, a pretty good fastball hitter, jumping on a hanging breaking ball and just getting it out of reach of Roy White. White out there trying to climb the fence for the ball. It just made the first row out in left field.
Roy gave it all he had. He went up on the fence, grabbed hold of the top of the fence, pulled himself up, but still could not reach it. I have seen White go up that fence out there and make a catch, but that one was too high for him. Stanley's second home run of the year. The Tigers lead 3-0. And now Bill Freehan steps in. He's 0 for 2. Stottlemyre winds and deals. Low. Freehan grounded out to Hegan at first, his first time up. Then hit into a very unorthodox double play. With runners at first and third, he hit a ground ball to third. Nettles fielded the ball. Checked Cash back toward the bag. Cash did not break for the plate. Nettles threw to second base to get Stanley on a fourth. And then Michael threw home to cut Cash down at the plate to complete the double play. The pitch is down low, ball 2, Freehan. 2 balls and no strikes. Two outs and nobody on. The windup by Stottlemyre and the pitch. Cut on, ground ball to third, foul.
Well, the Twins picked up 2 runs in the bottom of the second, and they now lead the Chicago White Sox 2-1 after 2. The Mets must be doing something. Probowski pitching for the Cardinals in the 7th, so the Mets have gotten rid of Gibson.
Like the Twins saving all their wins for the season. They didn't hardly won a ball game in exhibition play, but now they are 3-1 going into today and leading in their ball game. All right, Stottlemyre with a 2-1 pitch to Freehan. Has the plate but high. Ball 3, 3-1. We're in the bottom half of the 7th. 2 outs, none on. Detroit leading 3-0. Stottlemyre brings it. Freehan takes it low, ball 4. That's the first walk by Stottlemyre. This is the New York Yankee Baseball Network. We pause for station identification.
WQBK AM and FM Rensselaer. Hi, I'm Jack Hockey. I'll be here after the game's over. Win or lose. Go Yanks.
Gary Sutherland is the batter. He takes a pitch low outside, ball 1. Sutherland doubled his first time up to give him 5 consecutive base hits in the series. Yankees finally got him in the 5th when he flied out to center field. Tom Buskey is up in the Yankee bullpen now, right-hander. Hegan is not holding Freehan on. Throw over there anyway. Hegan behind the base runner. Took the throw wide of the bag. Stottlemyre checks Munson for the sign. Short stretch. And the pitch. Line drive foul outside of first. Down into the Yankee bullpen. Sutherland, feet very close together. Rookie on this ball club. It's a fly ball to right center. It's in there for the base hit. Freehan on his way to third. Mercer's throw will be cut off by Mason. And the Tigers have runners at first and third. Sutherland is not a rookie in baseball, but he is to this ball club. He's been with the Phillies and Montreal. Better say newcomer rather than rookie on the ball club. Newcomer is this ball club. Runners at first and third. Munson goes out to talk to Stottlemyre. And now the plate umpire, Larry McCoy, goes out to break up the conversation. Runners at first and third.
Here comes Bill Verdon. That might be all for Stottlemyre. He's got Tom Buskey, a right-hander, getting loose in the bullpen in right field. Mel has given up 3 runs on 10 hits, and they have runners at first and third. And I think one of the things Verdon looks at, Frank, after reading the papers and finding out what he said about Klein, when he took Steve out, he said Steve was throwing well in the opening here. He was just getting his pitches high. And Stottlemyre got the high breaking ball to Stanley, who promptly hit it into the left field seats to score 2 runs. And that might be the criterion that Verdon uses watching his pitchers, along with the Whitey Ford. Both of them stand over here together. And that's going to be all for Stottlemyre, as Tom Buskey will come in to relieve Mel Stottlemyre here in the 7th. Tigers will have with runners at first and third and 2 outs. Buskey making the long walk from the Yankee bullpen out in right field. Big right-hander from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Had a great spring. And so far this year he's pitched inning, picked up a save. And in that inning that he pitched, picking up that save, he walked 1 and struck out 1. So Tom Buskey relieves Mel Stottlemyre. Buskey, the winner of the Dawson Award, as the best rookie in the Yankee camp this spring. Big fella. Let's see. Buskey 6'3", weighs 220 pounds, from Harrisburg. Last year, he split the year with the Yankees and Syracuse. In fact, Frank, as I remember, this is the place he made his first pitching appearance with the Yankees right here at Tiger Stadium.
It certainly was, and he looked very impressive.
Buskey with a good fastball, and evidently he's added a good sinker to go with that. Ball goes down well, and he pitched well his last time out. He'll have to deal with Eddie Brinkman here with runners at first and third, and 2 outs in the 7th. While we're waiting on Buskey, let's look at the scoreboard again. It's Minnesota 2, Chicago 1 after 2. Cleveland 5, Milwaukee 2 after 2, and the Red Sox 2, Baltimore nothing after 2. Over the National League after 6, the Cardinals 6, the Mets 2, and after 1, Philadelphia and the Chicago Cubs, no score. All right, Frank.
Eddie Brinkman ready to test Buskey. Brinkman has gone 0 for 3 in this ball game. He's up with runners at first and third and 2 outs. The Tigers leading 3-0. And Ken Wright is throwing now in the Yankee bullpen. The set by Buskey, the kick and the pitch from the right-hander is looped out into right field. That's going to be a base hit. Here comes Freehan in to score. Bloomberg fires on towards third base. Sutherland stopped at second, and Brinkman wasted no time. He jumped on the first pitch and looped it out into right to drive in run number 4. The run is charged to Stottlemyre. And now Sutherland at second, Brinkman at first. And the batter will be Aurelio Rodriguez. Rodriguez is 1 for 3. Slide to right, single to center, and grounded out to third. Right-hand hitter. Buskey kicks and deals. Low and away, ball 1. Buskey hides the ball behind the right hip. Brings his hands together and fires. Slider is fouled back. Breaking pitch. Brinkman at first and Sutherland at second. 2 outs. Lights have been on the entire afternoon here at Tigers Stadium. A very dark, cloudy day with some rain earlier in the ball game. 1-1 pitch to Rodriguez. Back low and away. 2-1. Tigers got a run in the third on a double by Sutherland and a single by Rodriguez. And they've scored 3 runs here in the 7th. Down low, and it's ball 3, 3-1. Kaline opened with a single to center. With 2 men out, Stanley homered. Freehan walked, went to third on Sutherland's base hit, and scored on Brinkman's single. Buskey has the sign, checks the runner at second, and fires. Pitch is hit in the air to shallow right. Bloomberg calling for it. Ronnie is under it. Glove up, makes the catch. The side is retired. But the Tigers bat 8 men, and they score 3 runs on 4 hits. There were no Yankee errors, and 2 men are left. So at the end of 7, the score is Detroit 4 and New York nothing.
Having work done on your car costs money, usually more than you'd like to spend.
Well, it's getting late for the Yankees. They have no runs and no hits against Joe Coleman. We're in the 8th inning. Here's Bill Sudeikis, here's Frank Messer.
And Coleman struck Sudeikis out both times he faced him. Sudeikis, switch hitter, batting left, and the first pitch to him. Low and inside. Almost hit him in the leg. Ball 1. And now Sudeikis wants the baseball examined. Coleman flips it in to Larry McCoy. And McCoy gives it back to the pitcher. Tigers have 4 runs on 11 hits. The Yankees no runs, no hits. The windup by Coleman and his pitch. Cut on, hit in the air to center field. Stanley drifting to his right. He's under it, and Stanley has it. Sudeikis is retired. 1 out, and Gene Michael will step in. Twice, Michael is grounded out to the first baseman, Norm Cash, unassisted. Rodriguez comes in on the grass at third base, wide of the line. Brinkman goes over towards second. Sutherland straight away up the middle, and the pitch in there for a called strike. Horace Clark has come out on deck to bat for Jim Mason. The windup by Coleman, the pitch. Michael takes the ball just inside. 1-1. Tigers leading it 4-0. Bases empty, 1 out. The windup by Coleman, the pitch. Check swing, foul tip. Strike 2. Outfield plays Michael fairly shallow. Especially Stanley in center field. He's way in. Now the windup, 1-2 pitch. A bit high. And the count even 2 balls, 2 strikes. Top half of the 8th inning. The Yankees looking for their first base hit of the ball game. Yankees had won their first 4 games, trailing in this one 4-0. There's the wind. Here comes the pitch. High with a fastball. 3-2 to Michael. Coleman checks free inside. And the payoff pitch. Hit up the middle, base hit. One hopper past Sutherland, the second baseman, and Michael breaks the spell with the Yankees' first base hit of the ball game and a solid shot right back up the middle. Draw a runner at first, one out. And Horace Clark will bat for Jim Mason. Clark, a switch hitter, will be batting lefty.
His first time at bat this year.
Yes, it is. Pitch to him is high, ball one. He scored a run, but he hadn't been to bat.
Got in as a pinch runner against Cleveland in one of the games in New York up at Shea.
Michael takes a big lead at first. Cash is playing behind the base runner. Here's the pitch to Clark on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. Ralph House taking no chances as John Hiller warming up now in the Detroit bullpen down in left field. The pitch. Down low. 2 balls and 1 strike. A couple of years ago, Clark himself broke up 3 no-hitters late in the ball game. Seemed to me like one of them was here. All right, the 2-ball, 1 strike pitch. Hit right back to Coleman. He has it, spins, throws to second for 1, back to first. It's a double play, going 1-6-3. A 1-6-3 double play to retire the side. For the Yankees, no runs. Their first base hit of the ball game. No errors, nobody left. And at the end of the top of the 8th inning, it's Detroit 4 and New York nothing.
Yes, and a lot of dames think I'm the kind of guy who love 'em and leave 'em. Well, it ain't true, see? I'm still in love with my first love. I met her in a speakeasy in Jersey. Now, don't knock it. Some of those speakeasies were something to see? Yeah. My first love was sitting at the bar. The most beautiful schooner of beer I ever saw, see? It was draft beer, yeah. Fresh, smooth, creamy. The kind of beer you probably first loved when you were a punk. Well, I kept on loving draft beer ever since. So I never had no time for dames, see? And later, when I found out I could get my first love out of a can of Peel's Real Draft, I was happy. Yeah. Look, if you want a beer you can fall in love with, try Peel's Real Draft. It's just as fresh and smooth and creamy as the kind over in Jersey was. And if you Peel brothers know what's good for you, you'll keep on making Peel's Real Draft, see? Yeah. Peel's Real Draft, the kind of beer you first love. Peel Brothers, Willimantic, Massachusetts.
Well, Horace Clark, who pinch hit for Jim Mason, will stay in the ball game. He'll play second for the Yankees. And moving from second base to shortstop, Gene Michael. Oh, the defensive change. Clark at second, and Michael moving from second to short. And here's Frank.
And Jim Northrup, the only man who did not bat in the Tigers' 7th, leads off the 8th. Northrup is 0 for 3, left-hand hitter. Tom Buskey ready to work. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. They call Northrup the Gray Fox because of his almost completely gray hair, very prematurely gray. 1-0 delivery. Low and no, got the corner. At the knees, 1-1. Tigers 4 runs, 11 hits. The Yankees no runs and 1 hit. Gene Michael single in the top half of the inning. First time they broke through on Coleman. Buskey turns it loose, and it's popped up foul outside of third. Nettles gives chase. He will not have a play. The ball is back in the seats. Mel Stottlemyre worked 6 2/3 innings, charged with 4 runs all earned. He allowed 10 base hits, walked 1, and struck out nobody. Buskey has given up 1 base hit since relieving in the bottom half of the 7th. Buskey steps back off the rubber. Looks down again for a sign. And the 1-2 pitch to Northrup. Upside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. In the 9th inning, the Yankees will have the top of the batting order coming up. White, Egan, and Munson. There's ball 3 upstairs. Full count, 3-2. White, Egan, Munson, and Yankee fans will be hoping Mercer, Bloomberg, Nettles, Sudeikis. Buskey with a 3-2 pitch to Northrup. Fouled. Straight back. Red Sox lead Baltimore 3-0 at the end of 3. Twins lead the White Sox 2-1 at the end of 2. And it's Cleveland 5, Milwaukee 2 in the third. There's a high fly ball, shallow left. White coming, Michael going. Who's it going to be? It's Michael, the shortstop, who takes it in shallow left. Northrup is retired. 1 down. And now Al Kaline. Kaline is 2 for 3. He started off a 3-run 7th inning with a single to center field. First pitch to Kaline. Fastball for a strike. Tuesday, Yankee pitching kept the top 4 Tiger batters from getting a base hit. They were combined 0 for 17. Brinkman, Rodriguez, Northrup, and Kaline. But this afternoon, all but Northrup have come back with at least 1 base hit. Kaline takes the ball. It's 1-1 to the right-hand hitter. Buskey rocks, kicks, and deals. Breaking pitch popped up in a shallow right. This may be trouble. Egan going back. He's under it now and makes the catch. Mike Egan just turned his back on the infield, running as hard as he could. Knew just where the ball was, turned at the right moment, and pulled it in. 2 outs. And Willie Horton, the batter. Horton is 1 for 3. He had a double in the 4th inning, but was thrown out trying to stretch it into a triple. Bloomberg to Michael to Nettles. Again this afternoon, the Yankees have had fine defensive play. Turned over 2 double plays in the ball game. Pitch to Horton on the inside corner, strike 1.
Well, the Mets picked up 5 runs in the bottom of the 7th, and they now lead the Cardinals 7-6 after 7.
Woo! 5 runs. Well, it can be done.
Cardinals used 3 pitchers that inning.
What the Yankees need to do here in the 9th. Pitch to Horton, line drive, base hit to left field. Roy White down on one knee fields the ball. And Horton is on with his 2nd base hit, giving him a 2 for 4 afternoon. 2nd hit off Buskey, and number 12 for Detroit. The batter will be Norm Cash. Egan will not hold Horton on at first base. Cash is 2 for 3. He has a single and a double. Buskey to the belt and turns it loose. Strike 1 called. Cash has been with the Tigers since 1960, Bill, so that would be 15 years, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm. It's a fly ball to left center. Roy White is waiting for it. Under it. And White has it to retire to side. For Detroit in the 8th, no runs, a base hit. The man is left. At the end of 8, the score, the Tigers 4 and the Yankees nothing.
I don't know. I really can't say how many cigarettes I smoke in a day. Sometimes I don't even know I'm lighting one. I pick up the phone. I pick up a cigarette automatically. Sit down with the paper, light up a cigarette, wait for the bus, smoke a cigarette. I practically think, reach, I reach. A lot of times I have a cigarette just because I see someone else lighting up. Even someone I'm just watching on television. It's ridiculous. I smoke most of them without even thinking. I bet if I really thought about all the cigarettes I smoke automatically, I probably wouldn't smoke them. Now, if I didn't smoke them, I'd automatically cut down. What a good idea.
Cutting down is always a good idea. The U.S. Public Health Service has more ways for smokers to help themselves. Send for them. They're free. Just mail a postcard with your name and address to Automatic, Rockville, Maryland, 20852.
Well, it's the Yankees' last chance, Frank. Here they're down 4-0 here as we go into the top of the ninth, and the Yankees have the top of the batting order up.
Okay, Roy White will try to get something started. Roy has been hit twice with a pitch. Another time up, he hit back to the pitcher, Coleman. Coleman ready to work to Roy, and the first pitch taken high, ball one. Think about the big winners in the American League over the past 3 years. You think of Catfish Hunter of Oakland, Jim Palmer in Baltimore, Wilbur Wood at Chicago, Mickey Lolich here at Detroit. White hits a fly ball to deep right. This one is going. It's going to be out of here. In the upper deck, hit one of the support posts in the upper deck, and Roy White has put the Yankees on the scoreboard.
And that makes up for those 2 times he got hit. At least the first it makes up for it. Yankees still down by 3, though.
That's only their second hit off Coleman, and that's Roy's first home run of the year. You think about those pitchers, and, Wilbur Wood, with all the starts he gets, is the winningest pitcher over the last 3 years. He's won 70. Palmer, Hunter, and Lolich have all won 63 games over the last 3 years. Coleman's pitch to Higgins. Down low, ball one. And Joe Coleman's name doesn't come up, but in the last 3 years, Bill Coleman has won 62 ball games. 1-0 deal. Fastball for a strike to Higgins. Jim is 0 for 3. During this series, of course, reunited with his dad, who is one of Ralph Houk's coaches here in Detroit now. 1-1 pitch to Mike. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
I think part of the reason he's won a lot of those games, too, is he's added that forkball, which really does wonders for him. And he can handle left-handers well with it.
Egan wants time, Hal. Let's see, a ball got loose down in the Detroit bullpen where Hiller is warming up again. Thurman Munson is on deck. It's 4-1 Detroit. Coleman deals, and Egan takes low. Nobody on, nobody out. Roy White led off the ninth with a home run. Coleman has his sign from Prean, and the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's the third time Coleman has struck Egan out. His other 2 strikeouts have been Sudeikis for a total of 5. 1 out, nobody out, and Thurman Munson steps in. Thurman has grounded out to first, fly to center, and bounced to third. Bobby Mercer is on deck. First pitch, a strike called, looked like a slider. That's another big thing for Coleman, too, Bill, is he's been backed by the Tigers, not the Senators, the last 3 years. A few more runs scored. Ground ball to third is foul.
Of course, he brought pretty good infield over here with him. He brought the left side of the Tiger infield, Rodriguez and Brinkman with him, and that's bound to help.
He brought his defense with him and got a little more offense. But he is. He's certainly one of the better pitchers in the league. 0-2 delivery. Munson hits a bouncer right back to Coleman. The pitcher has it, flips it over to Cash at first base. Munson is out, 2 down.
What is Denny McLain doing?
Oh,
last time I heard he supposedly had a TV show around here someplace and was trying to write a book.
TV, radio show, talk show, some kind.
Elliot Maddox was in that deal. Maddox and McLain, Coleman, Brinkman, Rodriguez.
All right, 2 outs and nobody on. Bobby Mercer has walked once, grounded out twice. He's 0 for 2 and looks at a strike. There again, the forkball from Joe Coleman, and he does throw a good one. The windup and the 0-1 pitch. Sidearmer is ripped foul down the right side. Bouncing into the Yankee bullpen. No balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. The base is empty. Tigers leading 4-1 here in the 9th inning. Coleman rocks, kicks, and delivers. Mercer swings. Ground ball is hit to second. Sutherland up with it. Spins, throws to Cash. The ball game is over. And after winning their first 4 games, the Yankees are knocked out this afternoon. In the 9th inning, the Yankees score 1 run on 1 hit. Roy White's homer. No errors and nobody left. Bill White will have the totals in the recap for you in a moment. The final score, the Tigers 4 and the Yankees 1.
Still started over 100,000 careless forest fires. When will we ever learn? A public service on behalf of the Forest Service, State Foresters, and the Ad Council.
Well, here at Tiger Stadium was all Joe Coleman and the Tigers, as the Tigers beat the Yankees by a score of 4-1. Tigers got off in the 3rd inning on a double by Gary Sutherland, his 5th straight hit against the Yankees in this 2-game series. And Aurelio Rodriguez singled to center to score Sutherland. And that's all the Tigers picked up that in the 3rd. They took a 1-0 lead. Then they added 3 more in the 7th, capped by a 2-run home run by Mickey Stanley. And they picked up 3 runs on 4 hits, and it was 4-0 at Tigers. And Roy White hit his first home run of the year into the right field seats in the upper deck in the 9th. They got the Yankees on the board. Coleman pitched a no-hitter for 7 1/3 innings until Gene Michael singled sharply up the middle with 1 down in the 8th. And White's home run, of course, spoiled the shutout even. So the final rundown, the Tigers 4 runs, 12 hits, no errors. The Yankees 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors.